Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. I just woke up and I got ready a little bit. I'm now kind of waiting to leave the house because I have brunch plans with my girlies. So I just kind of wanted to get on here and talk about protecting your peace, finding peace, and also just enjoying your own company because I mentioned this a couple months ago in another video that I've been scared of being alone and I feel uneasy staying home and not doing anything, not going on a trip. I just feel uncomfortable on my own. And honestly, I am glad to say that I feel like I've reached a point where everything is kind of balanced. And I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like I've worked enough to get to a point where being alone, staying home alone with, no one here, has made me feel at ease, and it made me feel like I can slow down and not feel like I have to be doing something. Because that was the problem with me like a couple months ago. I could not sit still. Like, I could not be at home for an entire day. Like, I had to go out, whether it's going for a walk, going shopping, window shopping, or having plans with someone. Like, I just could not be made. I could not be still, and I didn't like that. And I think, well, I've been thinking, I know the reason why. I had somebody with me for a long time who would kind of keep me company 24/7. They would listen to everything that I had to say after work, and then when I'm going to bed in the morning. I always had somebody with me who was looking out for me and I was looking out for them. But when I didn't have that anymore, it felt like I was the only person on earth, and it's just me, my thoughts and emotions, and it was so scary and debilitating that I was just looking for every distraction that I can, whether it's going on a trip, even though it's financially irresponsible, or going shopping, going to Trader Joe's to get like one product, or going to a coffee shop to get matcha. Like, I was looking for something to fill this void. And not only was that damaging to my finances, I was also being unproductive with my time. And that's what, looking back now, like, I wish I had known earlier, like, or I wish I could have prepared myself more carefully when I knew that this was going to happen, where I wasn't going to have this person with me all the time anymore. So, but it's okay. We are giving grace to ourselves, we're forgiving, we're understanding and patient with the process. There's so much stuff to figure out in your 20s. Like, I honestly, more than like the materialistic things that I could ideally have right now, I'm trying to be more in tune with figuring out my dream life or my future. And that's in the form of like asking myself, what kind of career do I want to get into? What kind of city do I want to live in? Like, where? And do I want to be renting or buying a house, or do I want to be investing or saving my money and stuff like that? Like, that's like, those are the kinds of questions that I started asking myself in order to fill that void. And I think that that was a very productive thing to do, more than like going out, spending my money, and just doing mindless things. But you just have to go through that process. Like, you won't really know until you hit that bottom of like, what am I doing? Um, so yeah, that's kind of like what has helped me is finding questions that I can like solve, asking myself questions that I can work on to solving, or creating like an action plan. That's really helped me a ton. And then also kind of meditating in the morning and listening to music in the car, like music that will help me feel motivated or excited about life. Because I think for some time, like, I didn't have any purpose. I was just working my 9 to 5 job, and it felt very repetitive and robotic. And I think I've hit that plateau that everyone's talking about when you get out of college and you start working, and it feels like life is not going anywhere, and everybody else around you is moving forward. They're settling with their partners, moving to the next chapter. But when you're alone and you're single, it's very hard to feel that you're moving forward unless you put all of your energy into a direction in life where your future self would thank you. I didn't have that for a good amount of time, where I wasn't as invested in my future as I am now. And I wish that everybody could get to that point where being single doesn't mean that you're lacking something. It just means that you have a ton more time to figure out what it is that you want in life, and get your stuff straight. And not a lot of people have the privilege to have that time on their own because they're in a relationship. And not that I'm saying being in a relationship is bad. I'm just saying that when your circumstances present you this thing, you have to make the most out of it. You have to make the best out of it, and don't invalidate your experiences because someone else is having a different experience, right? Like, because I think a lot of us, like, being single has this negative stigma, and a lot of us hate being single, or we come to think that being single is a bad thing. But when you reach that level of, like, self-love for yourself, like, you wouldn't punish yourself for not being able to find someone in life, at least at this point in time. You would just be thankful that you have this time on your own to see the world with your own eyes, plan things on your own time, and sitting with your thoughts and emotions on your own, and just embracing your own company, and being okay with being alone and not feeling lonely. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that when I didn't have anyone to talk to about my life anymore, definitely I took that for granted, but when I didn't have that anymore, I just kept everything to myself. But I had to have some kind of outlet to let it out, so that came in the form of journaling. YouTube also helped with that, just sharing my thoughts on the weekend and doing, like, podcast episodes. Listening to music, going on long drives, that's also very meditative for me. And just, like, staying in your creative energy, whether that's looking at Pinterest boards, creating vision boards, or, like, posting stuff on Instagram. That's kind of like, I have my own private Instagram with, like, a small circle of friends, and that's also a creative space for me to, like, create, like, a series of photos with a certain music. That's very creative for me. So just find something where you can feel inspired all the time, and don't go into hobbies where it's, like, kind of unproductive, like shopping. I think is very damaging to your finances. But yeah, I think that damn, I just, like, lost my train of thought, but I think I'm running out of time. Anyway, I hope that everybody can find that comfortability and that peace within themselves, that everything is going to be okay. You are in a different season in life than everybody else, and I hope that you come to terms with it and make the best out of it, because when we are in denial all the time, we're just wasting our time. And I think that the sooner you can come to terms with your circumstances, the faster you'll get to your dream life, whether it's actually creating an action plan to take steps into building this specific dream life that you have in mind, rather than sitting around and distracting yourself with validation somewhere else, or shopping addiction, or overconsumption and all of that stuff. Like, the sooner you can come to terms with what you have, the faster you'll get there. So I hope that everybody can remind themselves that there's, like, so much growth waiting for you, and there's so much potential that you haven't reached yet. It's waiting for you to tap into it. So just get to work. Get to work. But anyway, I do have to go, guys. I hope that everyone's having a fantastic week so far and prioritizing what they want in life, prioritizing their time, their peace, and protecting it, right? You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.